What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of the top 5 NFL best route runners that you guys can watch. These are just my personal opinion of the best 5 that I think you guys can learn the most from. We're going to be talking about Keenan Allen, Stefon Diggs, Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, and then Davante Adams. I know I'm leaving a couple guys off this list, but I think these are some 5 routes that you guys can really learn from that can help your game and just help your overall IQ at the receiver position. Guys, if you want me to take a look at your film, you want me to break down your routes just like how I break down this, give you specific drills to improve your route running, check out that link in the description that says submit your film for a breakdown. You could send up to 5 clips a month depending on the plan that you pick, or you could set up a Zoom call with me depending on the plan that you pick where we could go over your film and I could give you specific ways to help you out. Hope to get you guys signed up on that soon. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is this kind of come back and go route here by Keenan Allen. So it's watch this thing full speed. We're going to talk about how he's able to break down 1, 2, 3 out of it in 3 steps and what caused that DB to jump in his acceleration out of this break. So main thing here is when he gets to the top of this route, you see how when he comes off, he goes snap with the inside leg, right? Now, this is an interesting way to do it because usually people take a little bit more time on this route, but again, it's a longer developing route. So Keenan Allen knows that I got to get out of this quick. I got to get over the top for my quarterback to give me this ball. So you see how when he's here, he goes on this inside leg, he goes snap 2, 3. And when he goes off that third step, he gives this head and shoulder movement. And you see how when he comes up into the stem of this route, he gives this pressure step to the outside here. And that pressure step gets him pushed vertical. It's like a vertical set. But this is not an angle guys would normally take when they're running a fade, right? They're going to normally take this angle, try to get you to turn those hips, and then snap it off and come right back down, that comeback. So that pressure step, his speed into this pressure step really helps him out and really helps him to get some separation. So again, he's here, takes this step, bursts outside, 1, 2, 3, gives that little head and shoulder stick, and then gets that DB to jump on this thing, right? Eyes in the backfield wanting to jump this route, and then we're able to accelerate out on any double move. I think you guys can learn from this what Keenan Allen's great at. You see how his head's down. He's pumping those arms. He's continuing to push to get separation, and he's not snapping those eyes around until that DB, he knows that DB's not going to be able to make a play, and he's not going to have an effect on that play. Don't look until we're open. If you guys have good chemistry with your quarterbacks and understand that they're going to put this ball with some air and let you go run it down. If your quarterback doesn't do that, you're probably going to have to look a lot earlier, right? And you're probably not going to be able to run full speed out of it. But if you tell him, hey, on a double move, let me create some separation, I could get open, put that thing up in the air, and let me go get it out early, put some air on it so I could go run it down. Great router by Keenan Allen. I think he's one of the best guys to study, one of the best guys to look at, and just overall what he does, very creative route runner, very crafty route runner. Let's watch it full speed again one more time. So he's coming here, pressure step, 1, 2, 3. Get out of there, accelerate up, drive those arms out of the break. Great route. So now we're going to be looking at Diggs. Here we're going to talk about how we can run a slant. What's a release you could do on a slant versus an inside leverage DB or a head-up DB, right? So he's inside shade here, right? So if I got to run a slant across his face, there are a couple things that you could do. And Diggs is a great example of footwork off the line. That's why I included him in this thing, man, because he gets a lot of separation off the line of scrimmage. He's good at his releases. He makes everything look the same. And I think everything this guy does is precise and explosive. So he gives this kind of little hesitation hop and then this quick jab, hesitate, right, left. So it's real quick right, left, just real quick. Now, all that serves to do is it makes it look the same like what he normally does, right? You guys have probably all seen the clips where he comes off and he gives this same hesitation hop, maybe gives a head and shoulder fake, and then he bursts outside and he bursts vertical, right? And he beats you on a fade. Now, you come back and we work the exact same thing. I work this hesitate, 1, 2, and now what do? I burst to the outside and I take this same angle I normally would take on a fade. Right? We want to make everything look like a fade. From point A to point B, everything's got to look like I'm trying to run past this guy, looking over his shoulder. I got my eyes up because there comes a point in time, especially off the line of scrimmage, if we're fast enough and we take the correct angle, that D will have to turn his hips, right? He has to turn his hips if we take the correct angle. At some point, he will have to turn and run. So if I can make that believable, and I really come out fast, 1, 2, 3, and you see how he's here, he doesn't lean back, right? He's not here and he's not leaning his chest back when he goes to swat, right? I'm not extending my arm, just swatting those hands off of me because I got his hips to turn, and when I could swat up and get his hips to lock. Now, DB does not make a bad play here. We're just better on offense. That's just the problem in terms of the DB. We know where we're going to go. That's why DB is such a hard position to play. But in this situation, what you guys can learn from is you're not open yet. You got to continue to accelerate out of this break. You got to continue to to run your arms and drive your legs to get out of this break, because this DB is just going to speed turn out of there. They work this movement 100 times over, especially the good DBs. They're quick at this speed turn. You get their hips to flip, they're going to speed right back around, right? So you see how he's here, and he's in a good position to make this play, but because Diggs is accelerating out, because Diggs is pumping those arms, and he's fast out of the break, he's not cruising. He doesn't get to this point and think, oh yeah, I broke his ankles, I'm good, I'm just going to cruise and wait for this ball. He pumps his arms, and he continues to run to continue to get separation from this guy, and you see how his hands are late over the middle. That's a great route, great release here by Diggs. Let's watch it full speed one more time. So here, 1, 2, 3, swat him by, really accelerate out of this break, okay? And so now we're going to be looking at Jerry Jeudy here. Now I want to include Jeudy because I think he's just a great, I think upon entering the league, he hasn't played in the league yet, but I think he's going to be one of the best route runners this year. I really like the way he plays. And so we're going to mainly focus on him at the top of the route, cutting out wasted motion and getting out of this comeback route as fast as possible. So you watch him here, and he's going to snap 2-3. He's out of this break, and he's running out of this break. That is such a hard thing to do, especially this far downfield, right? So he's going to be going off of his third inside step. So he's at about 12 yards, and that's going to be taking him back down to 10. Now, when you go off your inside leg here on a comeback, I think the most important thing is being able to push vertical, right? So I think on a comeback route, especially comeback, curl, dig, on any route, you want to, like I was saying, everything's a fade until it's not, right? And I think Judy's always done a great job of being able to just stop on a dime and being able to drop his hips as violent as possible. So you see when he's running here, there's no indicator with his pad level. He does not lean back. He does not start chopping his feet right before he decides to snap down. That's the problem that a lot of people do. They get so caught up in that first trigger step being explosive that they can't stop on a dime. Everybody knows how to snap down. Everybody knows how to drop their hips. But the hard part is being able to do it while I have a good speed, while I have good pad level, while I'm trying to get this DB to push vertical and then drop and get out of this break. Not everybody can do that. A lot of people like to slow down, pick their chest up, and prepare for this break rather than stopping on a dime, right? And that's why I think Judy's so great on here, because you see how he's just in stride. You see how his stride length doesn't change. He just drops on this inside leg. He snaps down. His hips are violent. He's bringing his chin to his knee. This is the position you want to be in right here, because you see how his chest is going forward. His chin is to his knee. His feet are really powerful. Now that's a great first trigger step, right? Now it's about eliminating time at the top of the route. Everybody loves to talk about eliminating steps. And when you eliminate steps at the top of the route, that's cool, that's fine. But if I got two guys and one of them takes 5 steps and the other takes 3, and the 5 steps guy is faster out of there, it's less time, I'm going to go with the 5-step guy every time because he's out of the break faster. It doesn't matter how many steps you took. It matters how fast you can get out of there. Now, if you could be fast and eliminate steps, that's a big jump for you, right? And that's what Jeudy exactly does at the top of the route. You see how he's snapping here. Now, your second step has got to get your hips turned back down on a 45, right? Because it's a comeback. So he snaps down here, and you see how that second step kind of starts to pivot him a little bit. That's what's getting those hips turned. And then his third step hooks around, and you see the shin angle that he has. It's at a 45-degree angle. That's going to drive him back down on this 45, and his arms continue to run him out. And when your arms can run you out, when you're here, snap, pivot, drive, he has this little extra fourth step right here. All that really is maybe not pivoting enough and not driving enough from that third step. But again, it's about eliminating time. I'm not going to be picky about an extra fourth step. If you're out of there fast, you push vertical, you drop your hips violent, and you accelerate out of the break like he does with his arms, right? I'd much rather if you take 10 steps and you're faster than a 3-step guy, then you win. You're out of the break faster, right? It doesn't matter how many steps you took. It's about cutting out time at the top of the route, and that's exactly what Jeudy does on every single route that he runs. Let's watch it again one more time. That's a great route here. Great example of you running full speed and using your hips to get you out, in and out in 3, pump those arms and accelerate out. Now we're going to be looking at this post out here from Amari Cooper. I think one of the most explosive guys you guys can watch, and that's what you can learn from him. So he's coming out here and he breaks 1, 2, 3 out of this thing in 3 steps, gets that DB to turn his hips, and then makes this catch. So the main thing about any kind of double move where you got like a post out, post corner, you got to out and up, whatever it is, you got to really make sure that you're selling with your eyes, you commit your hips, you commit your shoulders, and you're sudden with your feet, because your feet being sudden is what's going to change direction for you, okay? So when he comes out here, you see how he's pushing up fast. Now he breaks suddenly off this outside leg, right? Now the first thing that shoots around are his shoulders and his eyes, right? Your eyes are going to tell lies. You commit your shoulders to the inside, eyes go to the inside. That's what draws draws this DB in because he's thinking, okay, he's going to get this post. Everything about this is selling post right now. I can't be drifting upfield. I can't have my inside shoulder kind of halfway turn. I'm halfway in this break. I got to be fully committed to the break. I got to fully commit with my hips, and I got to be fast for 3 steps. See how he's here? Bam. 1, 2, 3, and he's breaking suddenly off of this. You see what that does to that DB? Turns his hips, wants to drive on this thing. This is such a hard thing to do, to run a post out off of a speed cut, right? That's a very, very hard thing to do. A lot of people have to go on this post out, and they got to break down. They got to snap down and really pivot off that outside leg and then drive with the third. But Cooper does a great job of just breaking 1, 2, 3, and he's out on this speed cut, swats the hands off, and you see how he's pumping those arms. He's continuing to get space, even though he already broke this guy, even though he already got his hips to jump. It's just second nature for him to run out of this thing. We can't cruise ever. I can't cruise ever on anything, any route that I run. You got to get into that acceleration phase fast. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys on a double move. Amari Cooper's a great guy to watch when it comes to moves at the top of the route. When it comes to double moves, just an overall great receiver to study. Let's watch it again one more time. I'm out here, 1, 2, 3, out of this thing, accelerate out, pump those arms, and get back down at this 90. All right, so now we're going to be looking at Davante Adams here. So I think the main thing that he can do off the line really well is make all of his releases look the same, right? I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is how you can manipulate a DB with your releases off the line. And so you see, how many times have you seen Davante Adams go with this little slide, and then he goes right, left, and he gets his DB to jump outside, and he'll run a slant, right? You've seen it a million times. You watch any kind of film, you just look up his route running on YouTube, on Twitter, whatever it is, Instagram, you see that he's able to slide, give him a 1-2, and then he gets this inside and runs a slant, right? So now, if I slide and this DB's thinking about that, he's trying to protect this slant. You see how he's inside shade, right? He's going to be, I got to make this release look the exact same, but I just got to do the opposite thing. It's that simple. So you see how he slides here. Now this DB's sitting inside. I'm expecting this right, left. I'm expecting this move. I'm not going to get beat to the outside. I'm going to stay disciplined. I'm going to take away this inside and force him. Now what you see here is when he changes that tempo with this slide, it changes the tempo of the DB, and the DB's feet stop, right? And we know where we're going, right? So I give him that slide, and then I burst upfield fast. I'm going from 0 to 100. I freeze them. I freeze them with my slide. Let them think I'm going inside. Then I leave him. I burst upfield. I'm fast. I'm pumping my arms. I'm accelerating out. Now imagine this. Imagine if he's running full speed, then he snaps it off and runs a comeback. Imagine if he's running full speed and he snaps down, throws him by, and runs a dig, right? It could set up so many different things when you make this release look the exact same. And now the next time he's got to run a slant, what do you think this DB's going to be thinking? When you slide off the line, he's not going to know what to think. He's going to sit inside, and then you give him a 1-2, he's going to jump because he doesn't want to get beat over the top again. This is his worst nightmare, and it's a great job by Davante Adams making this DB just, you know what I mean? Just it's very hard to play DB, and we got to really make sure that we make it even harder on them by making all of our stuff look the same, right? Because they're looking for anything, right? That's why some of the good DBs, they can pick up on any kind of crap that you guys throw at them. If it's too much of an indicator, you give too much away, right? But if you make it all look the same, it's that much harder on these guys. Let's watch this again one more time. So he slides, takes off. Great job by Davante Adams making everything look the exact same. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please leave those in the comments. I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you guys, again, want me to take a look at your film, check out that link in the description. I'll see you guys next time.